Let's start with Tech Mahindra. First, the company has been in news for the last 6 months, pretty high in the news. Recently reported Q2 numbers which have met the street expectations. Also signed some large deals recently, especially in the Indian market. We have Sanjay Kalra, who's the CEO of Tech Mahindra, joining us. Mr. Kalra, thank you very much for joining us on Lunch today.
Hi.
Hi. All right, let me start with a question that everybody wants to ask. In terms of the contract signed with your largest client, which is BT, you've said that if you get a conviction on the volumes, then you would look at giving them price discounts. Now, how's that panned out? Could you tell us what kind of discounts?
I was betting that this would not be the first question you'd ask me today, but I'll go ahead. There have been certain changes in circumstances around the world. I mean, as in this industry worldwide, same way with BT. And what we were finding for the last 3 quarters was that the volume of work or the demand in BT or the investments they were making in IT and related systems was beginning to come down. Part of it clearly linked to the way the economies are panning out or were panning out at that time. And part of it also because they were finally beginning to implement their strategy around reuse of what they had been investing in earlier. To us, we had a large chunk of our business that came through long-term contracts. And then there was an even larger chunk that was the core of BT, the business that we got when they outsourced work to vendors like us, other vendors in India and overseas. The biggest concern that I as an outsourcing partner or others I guess and the street had was that while that volume is shrinking, how is it affecting a company like Tech Mahindra? And consistently the question to me from yourselves was what is the bottom, has the bottom been reached, etc. Now there were parts of my business that were pretty committed and long-term to me. There were parts of business that were not really long-term committed, but that was discretionary spend that happened every quarter. What we have been able to do in the last 1 quarter is to go back to them, look at the volumes of business, combine a long-term contract with another thing that was renewed every quarter, combine the volumes, take a certain assurance on those volumes for the next 4 years, and then we've been able to give them a certain price discount. And the price discount is based on cutting the rate list down by a certain amount. Now, I can't give you the exact number, but what I can tell you is that when you saw my Q2 results, the discount or the rate cut that I've given them is incorporated in that.
Right.
I hope that helps.
All right. Sanjay, could you elaborate some of the other big orders that you have currently? Because non-BT business, as you told us in your numbers, has gone up marginally.
Yeah, the non-BT business, in fact, I'm just looking at the numbers down here, has grown by about 9% USD terms. And even in that, if I break it down, the US has grown by about 2%, Europe by about 3.5%, and rest of the world has grown by almost 13%. So clearly, the real growth in my business has come in what you would call rest of the world, which I think I should change the name very soon because the business is beginning to become significant in my portfolio. But the Middle East, India, Asia Pac, Australia, New Zealand, these are portions that have seen growth for us. And you will notice some announcements that our partners or clients made, and some that people decided to report, although we did not confirm or deny them. But what is really happening is we're seeing traction. There's new investment in new telcos, new mobile operators in India, in Middle East, in the Far East. And we are finding ourselves receiving a lot of these RFPs. We are competing for some of these, and we are winning many of these. And in that space, the business is actually different from the kind of business we do for our clients in the United States or in Europe or in UK. Because this business is about a greenfield telco where we work with them in designing their systems and processes, then we build their systems and processes, and then over a period varying from 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, depending on the client and their situation, we actually operate their systems for that period. So those are the kind of businesses we are beginning to see that we are seeing success in. And what's really happening there is leveraging the experience we've picked up from marquee telcos around the world, and now being able to synthesize it and offer it as a center of excellence from Tech Mahindra here.